Good morning, children. In last class, we learned about the frigid zone. Frigid zone is the coldest zone in the earth, and we learned in this lesson about the location and the climate of frigid zones. So, location in sense, we just learned some of the countries in the North frigid zones and Antarctica. Antarctica, you all know that Antarctica is also known as white continent or frozen continent. Why Antarctica is called as frozen continent or white continent? Because here the sunlight or the sun rays won't fall. Due to the slanting rays of sun, it is fully frozen. What is the meaning of frozen, children? The meaning of frozen is nothing but the water which is converted into snow and ice is called as frozen state. So today in frigid zones, we are just going to learn is about the vegetation. Vegetation. What is the meaning of this vegetation? So even in last lesson also we learned about the vegetation. Here the vegetation is nothing but here the vegetation includes the plants. What are the plants or the trees which are growing in the regions is called as vegetation. So in the last lesson, we learned some of the tree names. Example like ebony, mahogany, rubber, sycamore. So these were the trees which were growing over there. And many type of medicinal herbs and trees were growing in equatorial forest. Today, let us see how is the vegetation in the frigid zones. So just listen properly. I am going to read once. Listen carefully, children. Vegetation. Due to cold climate and permanently frozen soil called permafrost, there is almost no vegetation in the frigid zones. There is no rainfall and the weather is comparatively mild in summer. Plants which find it difficult to grow manage to survive during summer. Mosses, lichens, and those plants that bear berries grow here. Trees do not grow in this region. The dwarf willow, one of the smallest woody plants, has adapted to the cold conditions. This kind of vegetation is called tundra. So what happens here, children? You know that in frigid zones, it has very cold climatic conditions. Okay, here it has cold climatic conditions. Why it is due to? It is due to frozen state of ice and snow. So that is why here it has a cold climatic condition. Here the climate is very cold. And you all know that even the sand is also frozen. So what happens here? Here the frozen soil. The soil gets frozen. So here the frozen soil means even the soil is also converted into ice. So that is called as frozen soil. So in frigid zones, the frozen soil in frigid zones are called as permafrost. 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 So, if example, I am asking you, what do you mean by permafrost? So, what you will be writing? The answer will be the frozen soil which is found in frigid zones is called as permafrost. So, you all know that here there is no rainfall, only the snowfall. There is no rainfall, only snowfall, only snow and ice. It's covered with fully ice and snow. So here there will be only snowfall, no rainfall. Okay, children, and some of the plants will grow, but not in the winter. Because you all know that winter is very cold. Winter season is very cold And here in frigid zones, when the winter comes, what happens? It is fully covered with ice and snow. It is in a frozen state. There is no rainfall, nothing. Even there is no sunlight rays. It is fully covered with ice and snow. So hence here it is very difficult to grow. Some of the plants to grow here is very difficult. But some trees grow in mild summers. What do you mean by mild summers, children? I told you that in climatic conditions, 6 months of continuous daytime and 6 months and the next 6 months will be the continuous night time. So when 6 months of continuous daytime will be there now, at that time what happens? That is called as the first 6 months of day is mild summers. So during this mild summers, you can see some of the plants growing over here. But here the plants won't grow because it is very difficult because of frozen soil or the frozen state. So what happens here? In mild summers, some of the plants are grown. So what are the plants which are grown here? The plants which are grown here is mosses, lichens. So these are some of the fungi plants. Mosses, lichens are some of the examples for fungi. So some of the fungi are growing here as plants. So what are the plants which are growing over here? Mosses, lichens, and the plants. And some of the plants which are bearing berries. Which are bearing berries. When we come for berries, you have seen, you will just come to know some of the berries in your mind, like strawberry, cranberry. So these are the examples for some berries. And these berries which grow in frigid zones are wild berries. The berries which are growing in this frigid zone will be the wild berries, which we cannot eat. It is just simply growing during the mild summers. And even the trees are not growing in this region. Here in frigid zone, you cannot see the trees at all. Here the trees doesn't grow. But there is a small plant which is called as dwarf willow. So because here the trees is not growing because of the frozen soil, and here you can just see some smallest woody plant. Smallest woody plant called what? It's called as the dwarf willow. So this is a type of plant, or this is a type of plant which is growing during the mild summers. That is called as smallest woody plant called dwarf willow. And here this dwarf willow is adapted to this cold conditions. So this is the only plant which is growing in the frigid zone, and it is adapted to its climatic conditions. So that is why this dwarf willow is growing in frigid zones. And the soil and the vegetation. So, and the vegetation. The vegetation of frigid zones is called as. So here the kind of vegetation in frigid zones is called as what? Any guesses, children? It is called as tundra vegetation. So, whatever the type of vegetation which is found in frigid zones is known as tundra vegetation. Got it, children? So, here it is known as tundra vegetation. Understood, children? So the next one, which we will be learning here is the next point. The next subtopic will be the wildlife. So the next subtopic which we'll be learning now will be the next subtopic will be the wildlife. So in the last lesson, that is in the equatorial forest region, we just learned about the wildlife. We just learned many birds, animals, reptiles, amphibians. So there are different kinds of animals, and you can just see the 50,000 different types of species in Amazon forest or equatorial forest. So here in this lesson, let us see how is the wildlife in this frigid zones. I'll just learn once, I'll read once. Just listen, children. Animals have found ways to adapt to severe climate of the frigid zone. Some are naturally adapted. For example, penguins, seals, and walruses have thick skin which protects them from severe cold. Birds of the frigid zone include snowy owls, Arctic terns, and penguins. The polar bear, snowy owl, and Arctic fox have thick fur coats which keeps them warm, and the white color helps them to blend with the landscape. So here also we can just find some of the birds and animals. When we compare to animals, you can just see some of the animals in frigid zone. Which are the animals are found over here are polar bear, seals, walruses, penguin, Arctic tern, snowy owls, Here, Arctic fox. So these are some of the animals. Means the wildlife includes both animals and the birds. Right, children? So when we come to the animals, you can just see some of the animals in frigid zones. Where this frigid zones include some of the animals called polar bear, Arctic fox, seals, and walruses. The seals and walruses you can just see in both frozen water as well as in the frozen land. And when we come to the birds, you can just find most of the birds. When you are coming to the cold climatic conditions, what you will remember, the first bird which you remember, it is the penguins. So you can just find most of the penguins in frigid zones. The next one is Arctic tern. The last one will be the snowy owls. So what happens here? Here, some of the animals which is adapted to its climatic conditions. The animals or birds which are adapted to the climatic conditions or which is adapted or which is got adjusted to the frigid zone climatic conditions are the polar bear, snowy owl, and Arctic fox. So what happens here? The snowy owl, Arctic fox, and the polar bear has thick fur. Thick fur means you just wear some of the coats which is having the wool, somewhat furs. So by wearing that, what happens? It just keeps you warm during the winters. So in the same way, what happens? These animals are protected by its own thick fur. By having its thick fur, it is got adjusted to climatic conditions, and even it just protects from cold climatic conditions. And even it just keeps very warm. And even the white color. Why is white color, children? Because the white color is adapted, or it's just got adjusted to its climatic condition or to the landscape. Landscape. What do you mean by landscape? Landscape is nothing but, see, in Arctic, either in North Frigid Zone or South Frigid Zone, you can just see wherever you go, you can just see the places are covered with ice and snow. So wherever you see, it will be fully white. So when the animals which are white in color, even the animals which are white in color are adapted or adjusted to its landscape. When the landscape is also white. Many species of insects are found in these zones. The seas abound in fish, seal, whale, and walrus. Some animals, like squirrels, hibernate underground. That is, they go into deep sleep in which their heartbeat slows down, while others migrate, such as the Arctic tern, a bird which flies almost 17,600 kilometers every spring and autumn. Arctic people herd reindeer and depend on them for food and clothing. So here in frigid zones, when you can find a animal called wheel deer, which has very long horns. So you can just see during summer the Santa Claus singing in vehicle. I will be just singing jingle bell, jingle bell. He'll be just moving in a sledge, in a vehicle. So in that vehicle, you can see some of the deers. So the deers are nothing but it is called as reindeer, which is found in frigid zone. So even you can just see some of the sea animals. Sea animals like fish, whales, seals, and walruses. So you can just see some the upper part, the topper most of the land will be fully frozen, but inside there is water. Only the upper surface is fully frozen, but below that the water will be present. In this water, you can just see some of the fishes, whales, seals, and walruses. And you can just see some of the animals called squirrels. So you can just see the birds, squirrels, and the squirrels just live inside the holes. And it just starts to hibernate. What do you mean by hibernate? Hibernation or the hibernate is a process where animals go deep sleep or long sleep during summer. So the hibernate is nothing but it is a process where the animals go long or deep sleep during winters. Why they go long sleep? Because the outside, the climatic condition is very cold. To make itself warm, what happens? The squirrel just goes into the holes and it just sleeps inside the hole to keep it warm. And what happens here is even the heartbeat will be very low. Because of cold, even the heartbeat of the squirrels will be very low. So that is why it just take rest by long sleep or deep sleep during the winters. So such process is called as hibernate. So next one is the Arctic tern. So this is a type of bird. It is a type of bird which here the Arctic tern is a bird which can fly about 17,600 kilometers. It can just fly over 17,600 kilometers every spring and autumn. To make it, so how much kilometers is just flying? It is just flying over 17,600 kilometers. When it is flying during autumn and spring season. So it just flies from frigid zones to the other area. That is only during the autumn and spring season. And the Arctic tern bird flies to the speed of 17,600 kilometers. And even some of the people who are living in Arctic are called as Arctic people. So what happens here? Arctic people just hunt reindeer for their food and shelter. Why they are just hunting the reindeer? They are just hunting the reindeer for food, to eat the flesh of that reindeer, as well as the fur of reindeer is used for clothing, where it just keeps the people warm. Okay, children. So this is about the wildlife. So the next one which we are going to learn is about the people. Okay, now the last subtopic of this lesson will be the people. So you all know that we just learned some of the people in equatorial region. The people who are living in equatorial region are called as tribes. So we just learned the different types of tribes who are living in equatorial forest. So we just learned many names like pygmies, Hubus, Dayaks, Yanomani. So there were different names which we learned in the last. What are the names? The Pygmies and Bantus of Congo Basin or the Congo region, Semings of Malaysia, Yanomani of Brazil, Amazon Indians, Hubus of Sumatra, and Rex of Borneo. So in the same way, even the people who are living in frigid zone, what they are called? They are just called by different names. So I'll just learn one para and I'll just explain you. People. Due to the climate of the frigid zones, very few people live in these regions. In the Arctic, people live in tribes and occupy the coastal regions which comprise parts of Greenland and the United States and Russia. So you all know that in frigid zones, the climatic condition is very cold and where people cannot live. But some of the people who are living in frigid zones are just, these people are just in the groups called tribes. Whereas these people are just forming groups called forming groups called tribes. Whereas these people are just going to occupy coastal regions. They're just going to occupy some of the coastal regions like which are the places which they are going to occupy as the coastal regions which comprise parts of Greenland, Russia, Canada, and United States. So what they are doing is here, the people are forming groups called tribes, and these tribes are occupying some of the coastal regions which comprise some of the parts of country like the parts of Greenland, Russia, Canada, and United States, where the tribes going to occupy the coastal regions of frigid zones. Some of the tribes are Inuit of Russia, Canada, and Greenland. The Lats of Scandinavia, which consists of Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. Yakuts and Chukchis of Siberia, which is in Russia, and the Aleuts of Alaska. They are also known as Eskimos. So, children, please clearly understand that the people who are living in the frigid zones are called as what? Eskimos. The people who are living in frigid zones are called as Eskimos. In the same way, in different countries, the people are called, or the tribes are called in different names. Let us know the names. What are the names? So, in Russia, they call them as Inuit. Inuit of Russia. So, the people from Russia, or the tribes from Russia, is called as Inuit. One in Canada and Greenland. So, children, the tribes who are living in Russia, Canada, and Greenland is called as Inuit. So, I-N-U-I-T, Inuit. I is silent here. Okay. So, we are just going to spell that as Inuit. The next one, Lats. L-A-P-P-S, Lats of Scandinavia. So, here the northern Scandinavia consists of some countries like Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. So, the countries, when these three countries form, what happens? There is a new, when the states form together, there is a new country called Scandinavia. So, the country Scandinavia consists of many states like Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. The people who are living in Scandinavia, or the tribes who are living in Scandinavia, is called as Lapps. L-A-P-P-S, Lapps. And Yakuts, Y-A-U-K-U-T-S, Yakuts, and C-H-U-K-C-H-I-S, Chukchis. So, the people who are living in Siberia. So Siberia is a place where it is located in Russia. The people or the tribes who are living in Siberia, this is a small country which is located in Russia, is called as Yakuts. Yakuts, Yakuts, and Chukchis, Chukchis. And the last one will be the Aluts. 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 Aluts of Alaska. So, Alaska is a small country which is located in North America. So, there is a place called Alaska in North America. The people who are living in this place are called as Aluts. 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 Got it, children? So, these are the tribes who are living in different countries or different continents are called as different names. Inuit, Inuit. The people or the tribes who are living in Russia, Canada and Greenland are called as Inuit. I-N-U-I-T. Inuit. The next one, the people who are living in Scandinavia, a country called Scandinavia consists of the three states, that is the Denmark, Norway and Sweden. So the people or the tribes who are living in Scandinavia is called as LAPPS, Lats. And the people or the tribes who are living in Siberia, a place in Russia, is called as Yakuts, Yakuts, and Chukchis, Chukchis. And the last people, the tribe who are living in Alaska, which is located in North America, is called as Aluts, Aluts, Aluts. So they live in snow houses known as igloos. Fishing and hunting of whales, seals and walruses as common occupation. For this purpose, they use boats called kayaks. They use bows, arrows, rifles and harpoons, special kind of spear for hunting, and sledges drawn by reindeer or husky sled dogs as means of transport. Nowadays, modern snow scooters, snow coaches and terra buses are also used in some regions. So, what happens here, children? There is a snowy house. In this region, there is a called snow houses. What is the snow houses called? It is called as what? Igloo. So all of you have seen the igloo. So the igloo will be in this form. So it is just built by ice blocks. The people who are staying in this frigid zones, to keep themselves warm, what they are doing, they are just staying in this igloo. So when they stay inside the igloo, what happens? It just keeps people warm and it just protects from cold winds. And here, the main occupation of this people, will be the hunting and fishing are the main important occupation of this Eskimos or the people who are living in frigid zones. They just do fishing like whales, walruses and seals for food and clothing. As well as they just use some of the boats. The boats which are used here is called as kayaks. So, the boats which are used in frigid zones are called as Kayaks, kayaks. To go in water, they just use a special type of boats called kayaks. And even they use some of the weapons weapons like arrows, bows, rifles, harpoons. So here they are just using some of the weapons to defend against when they wanted to go for hunting for their food. They use some of the weapons like bows, arrows, rifles. Rifles are nothing but the long guns which they use for hunting. And even they are using a special kind of weapon. It is a special kind of spear. So here this harpoons is nothing but it is a special type of spear which is used for hunting. So even they just use for transportation to move from one place to another. For the transportation, they just use reindeer. They just use reindeer by putting the rope on reindeer by using some of the sledges. They use sledges using reindeer, husky dogs. Husky sled dogs. So, for the transportation, they're just using some of the animals to move from one place to another, like reindeer and husky sled dogs. With the help of sledges, they're just going to move from one place to another. But now in modern days, modern days means the future days. In future days, they're just using some of the snow scooters. They're just using some of the snow scooters. The snow scooters are nothing but the scooters which can move easily on the snowland. Snow scooters, snow coaches, and the Terra buses. So these are some of the modern type of transportation which is used in frigid zones. What are they? Snow scooters, snow coaches, and the Terra buses. So this type of transportation is found in this frigid zones. So I think that you all understood this lesson, children. If any doubts while coming for corrections, you can just clarify your doubt. And before finishing this class, I'll be just giving you a small assignment on this chapter so that when you're coming on Wednesday, you have to just submit your assignments. Hard words. I'm just going to give you the hard words. So, the first word. The first word is PERMAFROST. Permafrost. The second word is MOSSES. Moses. Third one, LICHENS. 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 Fourth one, BERRIES. Berries. The fifth word, DW. DWARF, dwarf. WILLOW, willow, dwarf, willow. Sixth word is CHUNDRA, Chandra. The seventh word is walruses. WALRUS, walrus. Yes, walruses. Eighth word, ARTIC, Arctic, TERN, turn, Arctic, turn. HIBERNATE, hibernate. MIGRATE, migrate. The next word, INUIT, inert. The next word, LAPPS, lapse. YAKUTS, Yakuts. CHUKCHIS, Chukchis. Next word, ALEUTS, Alex. 16th word is ESKIMOS, Eskimos. Next word, IGLOOS, igloos. KAYAKS, kayaks. Next word is HARTOONS, harpoons. The last word is RIFLES, riffles. So these are the words which can help you while writing the test or the UT. So you are just going to practice these words 5 times. So you're just going to practice these words 5 times. So I think that you all understood this, children. And for today, we are just completing this chapter. So thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you, children.